And those Boeing MAX 8 jets continue to be in the news. Hear what Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg had to say related to the investigations.
We're united with our airline customers, international regulators, and government authorities in our efforts to support the most recent investigation, understand the facts of what happened, and help prevent future tragedies.
But today we look deeper into the deadly debacle, which is being highlighted by those two unprecedented fatal Boeing MAX 8 jets crashes that killed all passengers, two crashes within 5 months. Oh, my gosh. To help us out, we are joined by a former director at the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, Jamie Finch. Jamie, welcome. We're glad to have you in the same time zone for once. You joined us from Manila a couple of times, and we're sure appreciative of that. Sure. The FAA, not your old agency, but a sister agency, Federal Aviation Administration here in the U.S., has been criticized a lot in the last several days for really two things. One, and this may not be their fault, of course, Congress approves the money, but that they don't have the staffing to actually do the due diligence, the work, and the approvals for a lot of these airline manufacturers, and therefore they rely upon the airline manufacturers like Boeing to do a lot more than they perhaps should, given there's an inherent conflict of interest.
Sure.
Does that ring true to you at all?
Well, I mean, that's been one of the problems with this program that they've had, and it's very delicate. I mean, it works perfectly as long as the integrity is maintained. Unfortunately, the integrity has been compromised now, and so when that's been compromised, it's almost like a house of cards. It all starts falling down. This thing is going to go on for months, if not till the end of the year. This is the FAA does not have the capability, or not given the funds. It wouldn't be feasible, really, for the government, for the Congress to give them the funds to duplicate everything that Boeing has. But their main job is to oversight of Boeing and making sure that their numbers are correct and that they are doing that correctly. So I think that, you know, we just went through a period where we had not had a fatal crash in the U.S. until last summer with the Southwest accident since 2009. And we get complacent.
So do you think that there is a too cozy relationship either with the FAA or you're not to blame, you're not there anymore, or even the NTSB?
Well, quite honestly, these have been questions and concerns that the NTSB has had before in the past. And the NTSB has one stock in trade, and that's its reputation. The NTSB only investigates. It cannot enforce, regulate, and so forth. FAA is the regulator. And what they do and do not do, and as far as following the advice and counsel of from the investigations from the NTSB, it falls on them. So, you know, but no one, this is going to fall on everybody. Yep. Even if they're innocent, like the NTSB and so forth, everybody's going to be tainted on this.
I want to look real quick, Jamie, before we go at Boeing stock, because even last year they did a pretty good job on their stock. It surprised me when we were into October. If you could see, here's the 1 year. There in October, they didn't take a big drop there.
No.
Which was surprising. And if you look at the 5-year, we have the 5-year guys on Boeing because that's a stock you want to invest in. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, given that Boeing and their major competition, Airbus, and let's pull up the Airbus 1 year too, by the way, if we have that. That Airbus, they sort of had taken a tumble. Look, that doesn't look so great for Airbus. They announced earlier they were going to pull that their plane, the 380, out. So, I mean, what do you make of the companies, Airbus and Boeing, today?
Well, you have two 800-pound gorillas, and especially Boeing has become an 800-pound gorilla. It has a lot of weight around this town. And because it's not just a commercial aircraft company, it manufactures a lot of defense aircraft, and this is not the original Boeing. It's not just somebody making planes, the Mr. Boeing family. This is a huge company that has a huge impact on our economy. So
So our largest exporter, I guess.
Yes,
all the companies, the largest
absolutely.
U.S. exporter of anything.
Absolutely. And it's not just the one company. It cascades through the entire economy.
Yep.
And so this is really, really scary. It's interesting. Boeing had Airbus where they wanted them. They had them on the ropes. After they had to announce the A380 and shutting that down, they really did have them on the ropes. And they've been winning the 787 competition with the A350, the Airbus A350. And they were really, I was wondering if they were going to absorb Airbus, quite honestly. Yeah. And now
everything's changed.
They put new life back into Airbus, quite honestly.
Jamie Finch, former NTSB director, thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate you having, as always.